My name is Cyril Comedian, a researcher and a scholar in the field of e-waste management and environmental conservation. My project is about e-waste reuse to conserve the environment. My idea was developed from what I experienced when I was walking down the road to Nakauka. In the swamp, I found a lot of e-waste that was dumped. Yet it is this water that we are going to end up drinking. It's the water that is going to be taken in for domestic use. All these hardwares that we use, TVs, CDs, electronics, many of them, they serve their purpose until they reach the end of their lifetime. The question is, where is that device that you held when you first held a mobile phone? Where is the device, your laptop that you used? Many of the CDs, you realize that they end up getting burnt as a means of discarding of e-waste. They end up getting buried. They end up getting discarded off or put in stores. At the end of the day, they discard them off in bulk. Where do they go? I made a trace and I found them in Kampala. Many people are buying them in Kampala and they are transforming them. However, the way they manage the e-waste, many of them they just break, they just smash, which is a wrong idea. So realize that many times these people have kept on doing e-waste management, but what they have concentrated on is what we call domestic waste or solid waste. How about the e-waste? Where does it end? In the ground, burnt, buried, which is contributing so much to the environmental degradation and the climate change. My issue is, how do I solve it? I came up with a research to ensure that we have a better approach to environmental conservation to do with e-waste. The idea is, if a system breaks down, it is not entirely breaking down. Some component is breaking down and the rest remain working. How about getting this e-waste and we give it a brand new life? A life that is going to help so much. A life that is going to give a chance to a low-income earner. A low-income earner who cannot afford a TV, a flat screen TV, LCD screen. So I created a TV out of e-waste, a laptop that is spoiled. I gave it a new life to create a TV. In my research, I developed a model, and this model works in this way. You need to have an e-waste product, what you have considered to be e-waste. Get it, then possibly collect it somewhere, which I'm doing, and then I study it. I make an analysis of it. Does it function anymore? If it doesn't function, possibly it is not entirely spoiled. So I need also to look at each component, get what still works, and then give it a new life. That is e-waste reuse. Okay? Then the other part, what do we need to use it for? Possibly you need to transform it into an artifact, art pieces, something that can beautify than just simply discarding them off. So we realize that the entire model is going to help solving the problem of e-waste in developing countries like Uganda that don't have that much investment in recycling. In e-waste, there are these gadgets that don't normally get spoiled entirely. The power supply. The power supply gets in 240 volts of power, hydro or solar. 240, that's a lot of consumption. And it is going to cut it down to only 12 volts. 12 volts that can support or power this screen. 12 volts that can support or power the lighting sources. You can have light, good lighting system, but you are basing on the energy of only 12 volts. A low-income earner can survive with only 10,000 in a month. You have light source, you have the entertainment in the night, you have this system can as well have the charging power of your phone. I think that's a better approach than importing. Okay. So there is also a future project that I'm working on. And this project, I'm looking at how do I solve a problem of e-waste around the Victoria Basin. One thing that we realize that every stuff that we have, electronics that we have, they are discarded, but the management is not proper. And these guys are dumping in swamps in the shores of Victoria. What is the contribution of e-waste to environmental degradation? What's the contribution of e-waste to the water? What's the contribution of e-waste to the plants? That's what I want to research on. However, for now, I'm just managing, collecting stuff here and there, and ensure that I give it a new life, give it a new feel that someone out there can use. A person who doesn't earn much, a person who is possibly who wants to cut down the rates of power consumption. That's important. So if at all someone is out there and wants my service, all you need to do, look at the device that you have. It can transform. There will be some hack done upon it, and we'll give it a new life. The phones, the cameras are still working. How about using that camera for security purposes? How about using your phone to ensure that you ensure the security at a low cost to do with power consumption? That's what we call green computing. The issue, how do we save the mother nature? The issue is how do we dispose of? Green computing is the way to go when we have to look at how best we can manage e-waste.